Should I drink while I do this? Absolutely. Hey y'all. Tonight I felt like chatting, so in this video I wanted to talk about dating. Now, mind you, I have a lot of fun stories that I could probably tell about dating, but which we will likely dive into those today. But I don't know. I think I'm gonna start using this channel as just like a little diary for myself and kind of to see how I feel about things. I feel like talking about dating tonight because I socialize so much these days and have yet to find somebody that I want to date. And low-key got me stressed. I don't know. Not stressed in like a, like, damn it, why hasn't this happened yet kind of way, but stressed in a way that's like, ooh, is it always gonna be this hard kind of way? That's what I want. That's how I feel. I think that like, there's so many people around me who are in like long-term committed relationships. I'm not jealous of y'all. But I don't know. I kind of feel like, I guess you probably want to know what my stance is, what my long-term goal is. I don't really care if I get married. I don't want children. Like, children are not on the table. I don't want kids. And is it always gonna be like that? I don't know. But I'll be 26 in less than 2 months, and it's been like that for a long time. I don't want children. So I go into like dates telling people like, just so you know, no babies. I feel like before, most people would try to like convince me of otherwise. Like, oh, maybe you don't want kids. But the older I get, more people are like, yeah, I respect it. But yeah, I don't want children, and I don't really want to be married. Like, a marriage for me would be like, if being married would make my life easier, then I would get married. But would I get married just for the hell of it? Like, oh, I love them so much, I want to marry them. Probably not. Number one, the statistics on marriage, like, are not that great. If I feel like it, I'll put a couple of them in this video so we can all go together. But two, I'm one of those people where I've never seen a marriage modeled out in a way that I would want it. So, and I believe, I feel like I kind of sound like an unfaithful man when I say like, I believe you can have a long-term committed relationship without marriage. I think that marriage is almost always between a man and a woman. It's always like unfair for the woman. I think the man benefits so much more, and I will not elaborate on that. I do believe that it's just the truth. Even when people have children, it's like, if you go as far as to have children, then I think you should be married. Like, on paper, there should be like a legal document that binds the two of you together, absolutely. But if you don't want children, or at least don't want children with that person, then it's like, what y'all getting married for? But that's my own personal belief. Anyways. So that's how I feel about marriage, and that is why dating, I think, is a little bit harder for me, because especially at my age, everybody is getting married or trying to be married, or like so far away from that conversation that they can't have this one. Like, I feel like I've met some people who just got it, like they're 25, 26, 27, you know, mid 20s to late 20s, and they either are like about to commit to somebody, in a commitment they don't want to be in anymore, or they're just fresh out of like something long-term, like they were dating this person from high school or dating this person from like their early 20s, and now they're kind of over it, which kind of sucks, you know. That's sad. But I don't know, I feel like dating is not this, for me, dating has always been pretty fun. I actually stopped dating somebody when it stops becoming fun. Like my ex, for example, it stopped being fun, so it's like, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. And I also kind of want to like define the fun in being like, oh, we are arguing. Why are we arguing? Like, I'm not an argumentative person. I'm not saying that you should, like, I'm not saying arguments are the end all be all to your relationship, but what I am saying is that if you are arguing constantly, there is something happening here that needs to be resolved. And I think if you try to resolve something and you cannot get over it, then the relationship has to end, because then it just turns into a resentment, and who wants to resent their partner? I'm gonna put my glasses on because I feel like I can't see. I feel like I'm trying to make my eyes bigger in the hopes that it will make my sight better. That's not how that works. That's like why my last relationship ended. It was like a piece of me him and I had gotten into an argument over something that I brought up. I can't even tell y'all the whole story of that. Like, if you don't know that story already, I'm so sorry. I don't know if you'll ever know it. But we got into an argument, and I realized, like, I can't get over this. I'm not gonna be able to get over this. And honestly, it's been quite some time. It's been almost a whole year since we've broken up, and which is insane. Weird to think about. Y'all should have seen me. I was on the floor. I did not want that relationship to end, but I had to. It had to happen. I did not want to resent my previous partner. Like, we broke up for a second, and like literally 3 days, and then we got back together, and when we were back together, it felt like we were both faking the funk. That's number one. It felt like we were faking the funk. Like, I want to put that. If it feels like you are faking the funk, get out of that relationship. It's over. I think that people have their highs and lows, and I think I've yet to be in a relationship that's long enough to be like, ooh, that was a low and this was a high. But I have been in stuff where this is a deal breaker. Should I drink while I do this? Absolutely. This turned into drink with me while I talk about dating. We're gonna keep this real light. I ain't gonna go crazy. Tonight's drink is Patron with a side of sugar-free fruit punch, because you gotta keep that waist tiny. I just be talking. We got a little something going on here. It looks like it's about to be nasty. Like, it looked like I'm a gag. Oh, it's actually not that bad. All right. I guess I kind of want to frame this as if I was giving advice to my younger self or to a younger person, somebody who's in a similar situation than I was. If you feel like you're faking it fun, you gotta let it go. In that little trial period, I guess, that me and my ex gave each other, I felt like, I'm not speaking for him, by the way. If he somehow magically sees this video, I'm not at all speaking for him. He could have had a completely different experience than me. But I felt like, even though I said to him, you know what, okay, we can try this again. When we came back together after 3 days of breaking up, it just didn't feel right anymore. And I think I realized in that period, this thing has hurt me so greatly that I'm not going to be able to forgive you right now. And I think that had I stayed in that relationship, that things could have changed, definitely. It's so long as both people are putting in the work, something could have changed. But I got to a point where I loved my last boyfriend so much that I did not want to grow to resent him. I was scared of resenting him, because I'm always scared that someone's going to resent me. I probably need to work on that. But I'm so terrified of somebody not being truthfully in love. I don't want someone who is doing it because they feel like they have to be doing it, or doing it just so they can say that I'm happy. I want them to be happy too. And so yeah, I was like, we got to get out of this. I didn't want to drag him along for something that I didn't know where it was going. I definitely got to a point where I was like, if I can't get over it, I got to get out of it. So boom. That brings us to point number 2. This part is a little shady because it's not just this does not apply just to my last partner, but to a few people that I've dated, that if you do not love yourself, your partner won't be able to love you correctly either. And I'll elaborate. I think that I have had a lot of growth when it comes to my own self-love, my own journey of loving who I am even when I don't want to. And I feel like I have dated some people who are not there. And it not in the physical, right? But in their actions and their well-being for themselves. They just don't show up for themselves the way they should. And I do, and that makes them get annoyed with me. I don't know how to explain that if you don't understand it. I don't know. I think that there's definitely a better way to put that, but I have dated some people who, what's an example? But you know what? Maybe that's controversial, because I have been loved by people when I did not love myself. And it taught me a greater love. It taught me to love myself more because somebody else was doing it. So maybe that was controversial, I guess. I guess that's definitely a 50-50. I think sometimes that shows up as if your partner is pushing you to do better in something, whether it's like your health and fitness or it's school or it's work, whatever, I think if you don't want it for you, they can't want it for you. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to say. We got there, y'all. We got there. But yeah, I think that's, yeah. I think that's definitely something. So anyways, this is not a list video. I'm not giving you a list. I'm talking about my dating life. I've dated some characters for sure. One big thing is how I over romanticize. My friends actually just called me out on this recently because apparently I over romanticize everybody. I'm like, no, I love him. And my friends are like, you did not love him. Or maybe you did, but you definitely didn't act like it. Which is mind blowing to me. That is news to me. I feel like I always have every partner. I'm like, boom, 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 boom. Apparently not. Yeah. So anyways, my point earlier was that dating is hard for me because I'm not looking to be anybody's wife or mother. And I think at my specific age, a lot of people are seeking that. And I think when you're not seeking that, people don't take you as seriously. At least that's what it feels like for me. Mind you, to paint the picture, I date interracially. I want to say like that is not true. I don't know. I want to say like I didn't do that on purpose, but it's kind of something that just kind of happened in my life. And a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on me dating interracially. Let me tell you, I had this one girl once, like, make it a whole thing. We actually aren't friends anymore because she decided that my dating life was her problem. She decided that I didn't love myself. Yeah. So if you see this, I hope you're rotting somewhere. Actually, I ain't got no type. But these usually white guys. It's usually white guys. But I'll be honest, I've had like, this video is everywhere, but I've had such good experiences dating that is why I keep doing it. Because there are some poor experiences. Let me tell you, there's some poor experiences. But I have had some really great experiences too. And I'm a Taurus, y'all. I'm ruled by Venus. It is like Taurus all in through here. Sun, Moon, Venus, Saturn, Jupiter, all placements pretty much. Capricorn rising, Gemini, Mars. But I love love. And so I keep going back for more because I be having fun. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. In the unfun times, I'll be honest, I think I learn something new every time. I feel like I'm always telling people that, at least, like but it's true. I learn something new every time. So I'm excited for what my dating life has in store. I keep meeting great people, so I'm hoping that like my next great person is just somewhere out here waiting for us to meet. I feel like I don't think that my dating standards are like insane. So they're usually just like, I need them to have a really well-paying job. Historically, I've liked people to have a close relationship with their family because my relationship with my family is very up and down. Some days we like this, other days I'm like, I don't have a family. I always prefer for somebody to have like a close relationship with their family. Honestly, after my last experience, it's kind of like, that's also a toss-up because I need you not to be a mama's boy. Can't have no mama's boys around here. This drink is hitting, y'all. So yeah, well-paying job, decent relationship with the family. Because I date interracially, I have to date somebody who's culturally sound, right? I'm not out here dating a white boy that's like, don't know what a black person is. That's extreme, but you know what I mean? Like I like to date people. Now there's a difference, especially because I date white men. I'm not dating no white man that's like, you know, all he do is date black women. You know, he's cosplaying as a wigger. No, that's not, you cannot get into this club. That is you do not qualify. No. But I prefer somebody who's just like, they date everybody like me, you know, like I just want somebody who's culturally sound. You cannot be like, who is George Floyd? That's not gonna work here. No. But I do need you to, you know, you gotta know what's up. I know a lot of people say that a lot of black women don't like to date interracially because they feel like they don't want to feel like they're teaching somebody everything. Especially with Black culture, we have so many unspoken rules and so many unspoken habits that like, I'm not about to train you in the Black Olympics. That's not happening. But so like kind of like that. Like I would want somebody who's like, you've been around Black people. You know, you have Black friends. You have close Black friends. That not just your coworker who works in whatever department. No. Like you have to be culturally sound. So that's one of my standards. Physically, honestly, I am not that picky when it comes to the face. Usually fall for somebody's personality. 9 times out of 10, he made me laugh. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm one of those people. That don't mean I don't like a nice face card every now and again, right? Yeah. Honestly, I'm kind of easy. If you approach me properly and you talking right, and you can kind of walk that talk, I don't know. We can date. I don't know. I don't feel restricted in my dating because of what I said previously about the marriage and the kids. Like, I have friends who are like, I cannot date these type of people because I want my kids to look a certain way. And I'm like, that's completely valid. Absolutely. Or some people are like, I want to be married with, and I want to carry on certain traditions. Completely valid. I can see why you don't date certain people. But for me, I don't have those kind of limitations. So that makes dating more fun. It makes it more free. It makes it more like less pressure, you know? I feel like because I don't want those things, I can truly date somebody because of who they are. Like, not because of these things that I'm trying to fulfill, which is nice. I ain't gonna lie. I don't think I've ever said that out loud, but it is really nice. Here in Chicago, I'm getting a whole nother experience when it comes to this. Like, and before I start this whole how I feel about dating in Chicago, I by no means mean that like dating in Detroit was significantly easier. I'm not saying that. I think dating for myself has always been kind of difficult. Like, it's easy to get dates, but it's harder to find somebody to date. Is what I'm trying to say. Because if I wanted to get a date, I feel like I could get a date tonight, you know? But like, to find somebody who I want to keep seeing, whole nother ball game. Dating in Detroit was, in my opinion, in my perspective, in my experience, it was easier because I think more people are using dating apps. And I am on dating apps, like casually on dating apps. So I think it was easier to meet people because I think more people are on the dating apps, more people are seeking connection, all these different things. In Chicago, however, Chicago is so social that dating apps really are the clearance section. Like, and I'm taking that from somebody that I heard said that, but like, seriously, because there are so many opportunities to go out and meet new people, I think dating apps just kind of are like, I'm trying to say this without offending anyone or myself, but like, sometimes it just feels kind of bottom of the barrel. It kind of feels like, I don't know, like all of the anti-socials are on there. And I guess that's kind of valid because, you know, all the social people are outside. However, just because you are outside, I learned, does not mean that earns you a ticket into the dating club, because I'm always outside. And I'm outside way too much actually, because I have 20 jobs and I can do whatever I want. But like, I went to a dating like singles mixer and nobody was talking to anybody. Like, people were forming groups with the people that they came with, which was like, no, the whole point is for us to meet new people. And at some point I actually stopped caring, and I started approaching people, not on the like, hey, nice to meet you, but I was approaching people asking like, so hey, you see anybody here that you like? And they were responding with, oh yeah, 100%. And I was like, well, what are you gonna do? You know, what's the point? And they're like, yeah, I'm kind of nervous though, so I'm not gonna say nothing. Like, that is an answer I got for real. Like, a guy told me that he was too nervous to go approach the girl. Mind you, he's at a singles mixer, so he didn't do it. And I kept hearing that throughout the night. Like, it was either that or people were there and they genuinely didn't find anybody they were attracted to. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I was there and it was probably a room full of like 150 people, and there was one person that I thought was attractive, and I later found out he wasn't even there for the event, so I was like, okay, whatever. This just popped into my head at the end, but don't feel bad for making things deep. Things are supposed to be deep. I feel like when people hear that I don't want marriage and I don't want kids, they assume that I'm just here to like F around with people. No. Every single one of the relationships that I've ever been in, and the relationships that I haven't been in, like the people who I just went on dates or something with, it was that deep. It was deep, and I made it deep because I wanted it to be deep, because it's supposed to be deep. This is love we're talking about. There's love on the table. You guys want to see my cat? Come on. Yeah, it is that deep. It's that deep with everybody. It's actually that deep with a guy who I tell is cute in a bar. It's that deep. Because maybe that's the start of our story, right? So I have younger family members who have experienced things where they're like, oh, like why am I so disappointed that this didn't work out? Because it's that deep. Because you wanted something from it. I wish people would stop acting like they don't want something from love. Yes, you do. You crave connection, and that is okay. In fact, I think it's better when we're open about when we need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so many people are concerned about the physical. And it's like, yeah, I mean, physical chemistry is important, right? But like, your experiences with that person outside of that is what matters the most. He's being held as if he's not comfortable, but I swear to God he is. And the other one wants to be held, but he don't like being picked up, so how that work? But yeah, I think that like, right, because we're looking around. I think that you should not be scared of having deep connections, even if they are temporary ones. Like if I had known that my last relationship was only going to be 8 months long, I probably would have went even harder. And if you knew me, I was going hard. So, yeah, don't be afraid to be seen. Don't be afraid to be, caught loving somebody. That's not a bad thing. I think he wanted to be seen as well. Yeah, don't be afraid to be seen loving. I think that's so important. I don't think enough people say that to us. I think that a lot of the times people just kind of want to, be put into these magical relationships, but you have to be seen trying. So you'll see me try, especially in love. I'm very open about like everything, actually. If you like this video and you want to see more videos, please let me know. I love to talk, and I think this is definitely not the only video that I'm making tonight, but I love to chat. And if you want to see more of this, stick around because there will definitely be more. So thank you for listening. I love you. Bye.